Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first men's qualifying final between second place Perth Pumas and third place West Coast Cobras. Cobras in the green kit, Pumas in the red and white. Team lineups for today for the Perth Pumas. We have number 19, Amar Jahel. Number 7, Kevin Panselli. Number 21, Kai Jan. Number 8, Gordon Tiong. Number 11, Fionn Mulholland. Number 14, Rory Wilkinson. Number 2, Rama Elliott. Number 10, Matthew Stephenson. And number 5, Bennett Vesey. And the West Coast Cobras, we have number 95, Halil Russo. Number 10, Federico Achille. Number 16, Andreas Buznekis. Number 1, Thomas Robles. Number 6, Hazrat Aklaki. Number 3, Lukman Syed. Number 6, Miguel Oliveira. Number 14, Michael Dudek. And Perth Pumas starting off with the ball, and they lose it quickly. West Coast Cobras now in possession. Ball's back to Robles. Big ball through the middle for Buznecki. Tries to back heel it. Cut out by Mulholland. The ball's being called still in by the ref. Achille across the court to Russo. Being pressed high by Tiong. Oh, and the middle's left open. Luckily, Panselli was there to second defend. Massive gap left open in the middle by the Perth Pumas defence. Shot there from Russo. Russo again on the ball. Russo again. Achille in the middle. Mulholland across the court to Panselli. Panselli 1v1 against Buznekis. The shot over the bar from Panselli. Couple of shots off early from both teams. So high energy final. Both these teams will get another chance at finals, win or lose. If they win, they'll get 2 extra chances. If they lose, they'll have 1 more chance to still make the finals. Achille, little flick. Oh, and a flick over the top, cut out by Mulholland. Russo tracking back. Mulholland trying to go through Buznecki. Sends the ball out for a West Coast Cobras side kick in. Elliott looking over the top. It's cut out by Buznecki. Stephenson. Ball across the court to Kevin Panselli. In the middle for Amar Jahel, who's now on the court for Perth Pumas. Oh, and great defending by Tiong. Lil Russo, oh, and Oliveira cutting the ball out. Could have gone to Buznecki for a... Oh, and that's a great shot from Federico Achille. Watching the instant replay of that shot. Ball comes across. Federico takes a touch. Sends it straight up into the right-hand corner. Putting the West Coast Cobras up early in this qualifying final. Jahel, ooh, little mistouch. Robles leaves the ball at Syed's feet. Oh, and Syed's flick forwards, cut out by Jahel. Wilkinson now plays the ball across. Sweeped up by Robles as it's coming across the face of the goal. Syed again, Achille. Big ball in the middle. Oh, and a great little touch from Russo, and no one's marking Syed. Oh, and another early chance for the West Coast Cobras. Perth Pumas making a few little defensive mistakes, forgetting to follow their players and check their shoulders. Almost giving West Coast Cobras a clean shot at goal. Achille. Looking at Liviera. Liviera across to Syed. Little flicker over. Achille gets on the end of it. Liviera being pressed by Tiong. Syed. Russo. Great tracking by Matt Stephenson. Gets in front of his player. That's great defense by the Perth Pumas, learning from their early mistakes. Tiong, 1v1 against Syed. Has to play the ball in the middle, and it's cut out by Russo. Perth Pumas have done well to get back. Russo somehow still ends up with the ball at his feet. Tiong. Stephenson out wide. Stephenson. He plays the ball into the West Coast player. Didn't have many Perth Pumas open feet to play to. Similar situation for Amar Jahel. Perth Pumas not making themselves available when players are being pressed at the moment. Again for Gordon Tiong. It's a great press coming from the West Coast Cobras. It's a corner ball chance here for Perth Pumas to settle the score at 1-1. Oh, and Jahel takes a little touch. Dispossessed by Oliviera, driving forwards now. Panselli. Panselli does great defensive work. Puts his body on the line. On a ball taken by Oliviera. Achille. The top to Russo. Russo 1v1 against Jan, and the left foot shot from Russo. West Coast Cobras so far in the first 6 or so minutes looking quite dominant in this game. Oh, and that's a great little run from Jahel. Excellent defending by Syed. Michael Dudek now on the court for the West Coast Cobras. Russo. Good defensive work by Kaijan, not letting him turn. Oh, and a little foul from Jahel as he ran past. Clarkey now on the court for the West Coast Cobras, on the ball. Looking to take on Jahel down the line. Panselli. Jahel, oh, and was a great read by Clarkey. It's in the middle for, oh, and the free kick for the Perth Pumas. West Coast Cobras pressing high, giving no time or space. Robles, Michael Dudek. John on the kick, Clarkey pressing up on Mulholland. John pressed by Syed. Achille gives Panselli a little bit of time and space, and he's off going forwards, and the pass cut out by Clarkey. Panselli just overreading that run on, a great left foot ball through across the face from Clarkey. Syed just Couldn't quite get a foot on it, put it in the back of the net. It's a strong show so far by the West Coast Cobras. Mulholland, pressed by Achille. Clarkey. Dudek with the shot. It's a great block by Rama Elliott. And Vese now with the shot. It's blocked by Michael Dudek. Vese now following up. Vese running down the ball. Syed slowing the game down a little bit. Clarkey has time and space in front of him. Great ball through to Syed. Down the line from Dudek. Oh, and the ball just flicks off Dudek's heel for a Perth Pumas side kick in. John swapping for Tiong for the Perth Pumas. Tiong. Panselli. Ball's out wide to Tiong. Vese. Perth Pumas looking a bit better now with the ball. West Coast Cobras have dropped their press off just a little bit, giving Pumas a bit more time and space on the ball. Vese. Mulholland. Across to Tiong. Tiong's against Dudek on the line. Panselli looking to take the shot. It's an easy clean up for Thomas Robles. Hazrat running forward. Ball cut out by Panselli. Tiong now going forwards. Great read by Syed. Syed, Clarkey and Buznecki now going forwards. 3v1 almost. Tiong did well to get himself back. West Coast Cobras slowing the play down a little bit. It's been a bit hectic for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Very high energy game. Russo, oh, the ball forwards from Russo. A little bit too much weight in it. Matthew Stephenson back on the court for the Perth Pumas. Some very quick subs coming from the Perth Pumas. Not a lot of subs made so far by the West Coast Cobras. Syed. Double up tackle by Mulholland and Panselli. Clarkey. Syed across to Buznecki. Oh, and Buznecki looking forward to a Clarkey. Just a slight miss kick sends it out for a Perth Pumas side kick in. Jahel back on the court for Perth Pumas. On the ball. Looking down the line at Stephenson, brings it inside. A little flick over top from Tiong, cut out by a Clarkey. Russo's ball forward, cut out by Tiong. Tiong rolls back straight into the line of Clarkey's run. Liviera on the court for the West Coast Cobras. Clarkey back to Buznecki in the middle for Liviera, surrounded by Perth Pumas. Somehow still keeps the ball in possession of West Coast Cobras. Russo, nice ball forwards. A little bit too far in front of the run of Buznecki. Another slight miss kick, sending it out for Perth Pumas kick in. West Coast Cobras opting to press again. Oh, a nice little dummy from Mulholland. And Russo just running himself out of the Perth Pumas pressure. Stephenson, ball in the middle for Jahel. Looking to take on Buznecki, and he's dispossessed. Buznecki now going forwards. Elliott brings the ball down and gets it into his hands. Tiong now with a free run down the line. Brings the ball into the middle. Oh, and that's an excellent ball from Gordon Tiong. Unlucky for the Perth Pumas to not have scored off that play. Matt Stephenson at the back post, just sending the ball into the hands of Thomas Robles. Busnecki turns into Jahel, turning the ball over to the Perth Pumas. Mulholland now, big flick over the top. Cleaned up by Robles. A secondary shot from Mulholland. Sends it way to the right of the post. Russo. Looks like the Perth Pumas are pressing up a little bit, and they've won themselves the ball nice and high. Tiong now with the shot. Oh, and it's a great shot to the back post. Unlucky for Amal Jahel not to get on the end of it. Get a little tap into the goal. Perth Pumas have settled down a bit into this game now. It's not looking so West Coast Cobras dominant as it was in the first 5 to 7 minutes. Corner ball taken by Oliveira. Russo with a left foot shot. Sends it high. Elliott. Wilkinson on the court. Wilkinson looks to go around Busnecki. Double teamed by Oliveira. Oliveira ends up with the ball at his feet. That's a great tackle by Gordon Tiong. Stephenson now looking forwards. Ball down the line for Wilkinson. Russo sending it out for a Perth Pumas side kick in. Wilkinson to Stephenson. Tiong. Wilkinson makes a run across the goals. Stephenson, balls to Jahel. Wilkinson at the back post. Nice tight defence by the West Coast Cobras. Perth Pumas moving the ball around, trying to break that defence. Find some gaps. Tiong on the ball. Stephenson, oh, and it's a bit of a miss kick. Tiong makes it, keeps the ball in his possession. Ball's in the middle to Jahel, and oh, he just takes his first touch out of his possession. Giving it to the West Coast Cobras. Russo now breaking forwards, and that's great defence by Gordon Tiong. Ball from the side from Achille to Robles. Pressed by Gordon Tiong. Tiong wins the ball high again. Brings it back. Wants to slow the game down. Bit of a looser defence by the West Coast Cobras. Tiong saw the gap, but Russo just covered it at the last second. Tiong does well. On the ball forwards for Wilkinson. Just a little bit too long, and timeout is called by the West Coast Cobras. Just as the Perth Pumas are picking up momentum. We'll be back in just a moment.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week at Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Welcome back. Just in a West Coast Cobras timeout in this elimination final between the Perth Pumas and West Coast Cobras. West Coast Cobras so far up 1-0 with over 3 minutes left in this half. Goal scorer was number 10, Federico Achille for the West Coast Cobras. Syed on the ball for the West Coast Cobras. Back to Russo. Achille. Cross to Syed. Oh, and that's a great block by Panselli. Took it literally on the chin. Robles forward. Gordon Tiong cuts it out, and John, little touch backwards. Wilkinson. Panselli. Panselli looked like he was going to take on Achille down the line. Chooses to go inside, and that's a great ball from Panselli to Wilkinson. Oh, and little mistouch from Wilkinson almost gives West Coast Cobras a run at goal. West Coast Cobras pressing up. Nice little screen run by Panselli. On Wilkinson. Panselli does well. Another nice little screen, confusing the West Coast defenders. No one's chased him back. Unluckily, little mistouch by Panselli. Didn't see him going forwards. Russo with a run forwards. Little touch from Dudek. Gordo sending the ball out. Achille. Oh, and a great cutout by Tiong. Winning himself a corner kick. Tiong on the ball. Good chance here. Just coming into the last minute. Last 2 minutes, I should say, of stop clock. Panselli. Forward to Tiong. Oh, almost cut out by Syed. Selly's done well. The ball's sent out by Russo. Panselli. Plays Tiong. Achille trying to press that sub there, but Stephenson got the job done and kept the ball in Perth Pumas' possession. Stephenson again. Oh, and he's just slipped over the ball. Vese high. Elliott going to play to the feet of Vese, and Dudek just jumps in front. Achille, little flick looking for Russo. Great defensive work by John, stopping Russo getting that shot off. Ball over the top, cut out by Achille. Syed against Vese, backwards to Achille. Dudek, ball's great run by Achille. Russo now, we know he's left-footed. Oh, and a great shot from Halil Russo, putting the West Coast Cobras up 2-0 in the first half. Watch that goal from Russo again. Perth Pumas struggling a little bit with checking their shoulders and following their runners. Few instances where West Coast Cobras are running through the middle of the court unmanned. Stephenson. Vese. Oh, and the ball forwards from Vese. Not quite sure who he was looking for. Might have been slight panic in that pass. Stephenson, Mulholland. Oh, and it's cut out by Clarkey. A Clarkey, Syed, and Achille now forward 3v2.
Boys back in shape early. Let's go, Ted.
Mulholland. Ball in the middle for Vese. Oh, and it's a bit too strong out wide for Panselli from Vese. Clarkey looking forwards. It's not a bad idea from the West Coast Cobras. Vese now. Oh, and it's cut out by Achille. 1 second left in the match. Of the half, I should have said. My apologies. We will go into the second half. West Coast Cobras up 2-0 over the Perth Pumas. Goal scorers number 95, Halil Russo. Number 10, Federico Achille. Perth Pumas looked like they were being dominated for the first 5 or so minutes of the half. Settled themselves into the game and then started making some more silly defensive mistakes just towards the end of the half, giving West Coast Cobras a chance to go up 2-0. The losing team of this match will still get a chance to play in the finals. The winning team of this match will get to play league winners, Northern Hawks, next week. And then if they win or lose that match, they will still go on to another final. I have a few ads, and we'll be back in just a moment with the second half of this first Men's Super Liga qualifying final.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Welcome back to the first Men's Super Liga qualifying final between the Perth Pumas and the West Coast Cobras. So far we've seen the Perth Pumas go down 2-0 in the first half. West Coast Cobras have been pressing very high, moving the ball very quickly. Perth Pumas have been making a few little defensive mistakes, forgetting to follow their players, leaving players free in dangerous attacking areas. Oliveira on the free kick for the West Coast Cobras. Shot taken by Busnecki. Sends it just right of the post. Just listening to the halftime chats from each team, the West Coast Cobras were mentioning that last time they played the Perth Pumas, they were winning 3-1 and Perth Pumas scored 2 goals in the last minute. So West Coast Cobras, I think, are going to be looking now to not drop their heads at any point in this match, not get comfortable, make sure that they're keeping the pressure on. for the whole 21 minutes of this half. A nice little slide from Tiong, sending the ball out. Syed. Liviera, Syed again. Tiong looking to press Liviera, and that's a great little turn and a back roll from Liviera. Woznecki. Oh, and Hazrat. A Clarkey with the third West Coast Cobras goal early in the second half. Quickly watch that replay. It's again a defensive mistake from the Perth Pumas. Mulholland just not quite tracking his player back. Let him run past him and get a free shot at goal. Just taking a little moment now. Rama Elliott, Perth Pumas goalkeeper's taking a little second to get up off the floor after that one. Looks like he might have hit his knee a bit hard on the ground potentially. Just making sure that he's okay. And he seems to be fine. Perth Pumas move forward to take the kick off, I should say. Tiong against Liviera. Liviera with the great press. Ooh, and the ball from Stephenson a little bit awry, but Tiong does well to get to it. In the middle for Wilkinson. Tiong's pass. Oh, and Syed now going forwards. Jahel. Rolling foul called against the Perth Pumas as the Perth Pumas get a foul just over the halfway line. Woznecki sending the ball out. Wilkinson. Clarkey sending the ball out. Stephenson on the ball with the shot. Oh, and Wilkinson just wasn't quite at the right height for Wilkinson to make a good enough connection to get it in the net. Syed with a big run forwards, the ball from Robles. Both teams coming into the second half with a lot of energy and a lot of pace. Neither team so far opting to keep the ball and slow the game down. Both teams looking to go forwards. Clarkey out to Liviera, being pressed by Tiong, has to go all the way back to Robles. Tiong pressing the keeper. And he's done a team of service. They've sent it out. Robles sends it out for a Perth Pumas side kick in. Panselli stepping on the court for the Perth Pumas. Panselli on the ball. Oh, and a Clarkey. Bit of a push in the back on Panselli, giving away a free kick. Not a lot of fouls so far in this game. Oh, and the flick forwards for Wilkinson from Panselli, picked up by Robles. Syed, Clarkey, looks to go into the middle. Liviera. I think Gordon Tiong might have gotten a foot to that ball. Sending it back to Achille. Achille on the ball, and it's in the middle for Liviera. Oh, and Wilkinson just nipped the ankles of Oliveira, giving away a free kick. Chance here for West Coast Cobras to extend their lead. Oliveira, and it's deflected off Amar Jahel in the wall. Oliveira with a little flick over top. To the head of Tiong. Wilkinson now driving forwards. Panselli. Oh, and Panselli's flick didn't quite go where he wanted it. The idea, I think, was to go to flick forwards to Amar Jahel in front of goals. Russo. Well covered by Gordon Tiong. Defensively, Tiong's been looking quite solid for his side, picking up a lot of scraps. On Jahel. Gives the ball away to Syed, picked up by Tiong again. Jahel stepping off for Kaijan. Wilkinson. Back to Panselli. Shot from Panselli deflects off Oliveira for a Perth Pumas corner kick. Oliveira stepping off for Michael Dudek on the West Coast Cobras bench. Wilkinson has Panselli up the line. Tiong goes in for a short ball. Oh, and it's read by Syed. Ball's out from Tiong. Panselli picks it up. Kaijan on the left. Rory Wilkinson on the right. Oh, and the ball trying to get past the defensive line to Tiong. Just a little bit of a strong ball for Tiong to pick up. And some miscommunication, or perhaps lack of concentration from Russo, sending the ball out for a Perth Pumas corner kick again. Shot from Stephenson, deflected off Syed. Apologies, Fiona Mulholland couldn't quite get the ball under control. Oh, and a great run forwards from Russo. The ball from Michael Dudek. Russo with a step over and a shot from Halil Russo straight into the back of the net, putting the West Coast Cobras up 4-0. Watch that replay of that ball. Russo does well to keep the ball in. Nice little shot. Perth Pumas now playing fifth man. Pushing Rama Elliott forwards. Mulholland brings the ball in. Stephenson. Back to Panselli. They're moving the ball well. Oh, and the diagonal ball from Mulholland picked up by Dudek. Shot from Biznecki. Covered by Panselli. Panselli. Mulholland looking inside. Ball's back to Panselli. Looking to go back the same way. Panselli making some space, and the ball's across to Stephenson. Bit of a gap in the middle of the West Coast Cobras defense. Panselli's picked up on it. Oh, and shot the ball, diagonal ball blocked again by the West Coast Cobras. Panselli bringing the ball up. He's doing a great job controlling the play during the Perth Pumas fifth man play. Looks like the Perth Pumas tactic during this fifth man is to send the ball to one side enough times that they suck the defence that way and then send it out the other way for a quick diagonal ball across. Stephenson against Biznecki and Russo. Stephenson, oh, and ball from the top. Way out of reach of any of the Perth Pumas boots. Picked up by Federico Achille. Slight miscalculation by Stephenson. Bringing the score now to 5-0 to the West Coast Cobras. Marjahel. Tiong now back on the court for the Perth Pumas. Mulholland dispossessed by Russo. Ball's picked up by Tiong, and Jahel tries to play through a couple of West Coast Cobras players. Luckily, ball falls back at his feet, and Tiong with a left foot shot It's out for a Perth Pumas corner. Rama Elliott, Gordon Tiong, out wide to Fionn Mulholland. Looking across the court to Rama Elliott, and that's a great diagonal ball from Elliott. Just to the back foot of Kai Jan so that he couldn't quite get the shot off first time. It was a great idea by the Perth Pumas goalkeeper. Mulholland. Tiong now controlling the fifth man play while Poncelli is on the bench. Nice little run by Jahel. On a little touch inside. Elliott blocking the shot from Robles. He was outside the D, so it's a legal block. Oh, and the my apologies, pressed the wrong button. Shot over the top from West Coast Cobras as Perth Pumas use their second timeout. Their second half timeout, I should say. I pressed the wrong button, but hopefully the instant replay still recorded that goal. Oh, no, it's recorded the ad for us. My apologies. Was a little mistake by the Perth Pumas fifth man. Sending the ball from Andreas Buzneski, I believe. No, Federico Achille again for a third goal. West Coast Cobras now ahead 6-0. Even though Perth Pumas will get another chance next week, should be noted by them and their coaches that their fifth man plays are resulting in more goals against them than for them. It's something a lot of teams practice throughout the season and is very useful during finals. In games like this, when you're behind and you really want to get back ahead. Jahel. Oh, and he's almost dispossessed by Oliveira, but he does well to keep the ball. John playing Tiong. Oh, and Tiong with a missed kick. Syed forward, cut out by Tiong. Jahel, Tiong and Wilkinson 3v2. Oh, and the ball across the face from Jahel to the back post. Not picked up by Rory Wilkinson. That's great pressure by Kai Jan on Michael Dudek. Syed with Oliveira. Syed. Dudek now being pressed by Jahel. John pressing up on Syed. Ball goes forwards. That's what the Perth Pumas want from their press, for the West Coast Cobras to panic and just kick the ball forwards back to their possession. Tiong. John. Tiong again. A bit of a gap in the West Coast Cobras defence. Oliveira just got himself back in time before Tiong played the ball through. The ball with Jahel. The shot from Jahel just sent right of the post. Bit of frustration now coming from the Perth Pumas bench. They lose this match. They get another chance next week, but if they lose that match, they won't get another chance. So if they have to play fifth man in that match, they'll need to be keeping possession and not giving away goals. So at this point in the match, it is a good idea for them to be practicing their fifth man for next week. Oh, and bit of a push from Oliveira on Wilkinson. John now controlling the play for the Perth Pumas fifth man. Oh, and that's nice little flick from Panselli forwards. And ball sent over by Robles. Picked up by Elliott. Panselli takes on Syed down the line, gets past him. Panselli now to the back post, and Jahel just a little bit behind with his run. Panselli did take the ball very quickly down the line and get that shot off. Syed, ball across to Dudek. The ball from Dudek to Oliveira, cut out by Tiong. Jahel takes on Syed. Syed holding on to Jahel as he's trying to make the run forwards past him. Giving away a free kick. Foul count at the moment sitting at 3-3 for each team. Oh, sorry, 4 fouls to the West Coast Cobras. 3 against Perth Pumas. And I think the call is that the ball was not placed on the line, it was placed in front of the line for a turnover to the Perth Pumas on that side kick-in. Luckily for the West Coast Cobras, they're in a position now where they can afford to make silly little mistakes like that. That's a free kick to the Perth Pumas. Oliveira running into Kevin Panselli off the ball. Dudek plays Syed. Syed being pressed by Panselli. Tries to send a ball over. And the 5th foul has been called for the West Coast Cobras. If they give away one more foul, the Perth Pumas will get a 10-metre penalty. Again, fortunately, they are in a position that silly mistakes like that in this game, if they give away a foul, probably won't make much of a difference at this point. 5 minutes to go, 6-0 up. The timeout's been called. By the West Coast Cobras. West Coast Cobras just going over their 5th man defence, which, even though they're in a position in this game to not worry too much, it's good for them to get practice in for the coming weeks. At some point they'll probably either need to use 5th man or defend against 5th man during these finals. It's very rare that I watch a finals game where a team is happy to be down in a match and not push their goalkeeper forwards. Perth Pumas looking slightly defeated on their bench. Trying to listen to each of the benches to hear the coach's instruction, but it's very hard to hear in here. Didn't get much information. Heard Annie Leland speaking about defending 5th. Perth Pumas were talking about the foul count and trying to draw fouls out of the West Coast Cobras players. so that they can give themselves a chance at a 10-metre penalty. Panselli across to Stephenson. West Coast Cobras pressing this fifth man play. John to Stephenson, and the ball from John just a little bit heavy for Stephenson to get under control. Vesey now back on the court for the Perth Pumas. Russo on the ball across to Busnecki. The ball from Russo cut out by Stephenson. Slowing the game down, giving Rama Elliott time to go forwards for another fifth man play. Panselli bringing the ball in the middle, and he's just sent it out for a West Coast Cobras side kick in. Stephenson brings the ball under control. Nice little flick over the defender's foot to Vesey. Stephenson again. Oh, and he doesn't get that one over Russo. Little flick out wide to Achille, and that's a great slide out by Rama Elliott. On the ball from Elliott to Panselli, cut by Russo. Vesey on the ball. Oh, and Panselli almost past all of the West Coast Cobras defensive lines. Just took a bit of a heavy touch, sent the ball out of play. Oh, and that's great tracking back by Panselli. Ball over the top for John, sent out. Busnecki taking the kick in. Russo defended behind by Panselli. In front, doubled up by John. Busnecki plays back to Russo. Busnecki again, balls forward, looking for Achille, and Vesey just stepped behind his player. Shot from Busnecki, blocked by Panselli. Russo against John, looking to go around him. Ball's down the line for Busnecki. Russo again. That's a great save by Elliott. Robles now bring the ball forwards. Busnecki back to Clarkey. Achille, Clarkey. Clarkey being pressed by Stephenson. Busnecki back across. Nice little flick for Russo. Russo couldn't quite get his back heel on the ball. John against Russo. John does well to keep the ball. Panselli blocked by Busnecki. Panselli getting back. Clarkey looking to take on Stephenson. Goes backwards to Russo. That's great defensive work by Stephenson. The ball straight to the hands of Rama Elliott. Gordon Tiong back on the court for the Perth Pumas. Tiong, great little check run getting away from Clarkey. And Clarkey puts himself on the floor. Just touching the ball out. Panselli, oh, nice ball in the middle from Panselli. West Coast Cobras have been doing very well blocking passing channels from the Perth Pumas in that last defensive third. Mulholland on the court. Oh, and great ball forward for Panselli. A little flick. Deflected off Thomas Robles. A big ball from Mulholland. Sent out off Kevin Panselli. Liviera. Back to Robles. Coming into the last seconds of this match. Vesey. Tiong being pressed by Syed. Does well to handle the pressure, and Panselli sends the ball forwards. Vesey trying to send the ball across the face, blocked by Robles. Vesey blocked again by Robles, sending it across. Tiong now. Tiong and Pincelli and Vesey. Oh, 3v1. Wasted by the Perth Pumas. Liviera. Apili. Syed. Great save by Elliott. Ooh. Definitely a high foot there from Pincelli. I think I might have audibly gasped. Free kick taken by Russo. Pincelli in front. Nice little left foot shot from Russo. My clock's run down, but there's still 4 seconds left on the game clock. And that is it. The final whistle of the first qualifying final. I will say an unexpected result from what I thought would happen in this game. West Coast Cobras seeing themselves win 6-0 over the Perth Pumas. Perth Pumas very close to finishing top of the table in this league. Just shows you how close those top teams are in this league. Goal scorers for the West Coast Cobras: Halil Russo with 2 goals, Federico Achille with 3 goals, and Hazrat Clarkey with 1 goal. Perth Pumas have one more chance now to make the finals. West Coast Cobras will go on to play the league winners Northern Hawks next week, and win or lose, they'll get another chance after next week to make the final. Perth Pumas definitely be looking at this game, I think, watching this back and seeing some of the defensive breakdowns during this match and trying to fix them before next week's match, as it'll be their last chance to make the finals. We'll be back in just a moment with another Men's Supa Liga qualifying final between Condors and the ECU Jets, where we will see the loser of the match eliminated.